We've talked about the recent anti-trans law that was passed by like executive action in the state of Missouri, which essentially made it impossible for transgender people of any age to receive gender-affirming care. There's a series of hoops you can jump through, and it's basically impossible. It's like you can't get gender-affirming care if you have depression or anxiety, which might be caused by the lack of gender affirming care, and you need to have been under therapy for like 1 million years, and also like you have to have been born like under the full moon, and it's not like, it's basically impossible to get gender affirming care. I actually got an email literally today. I responded to it from somebody saying that they were able to get their like basically their like final in on HRT because they had gotten the prescription literally the day before the law passed. Good luck to them, which is also what I said over email. Yeah, things are really bad over there. And of course, all of this is being done because the GOP is desperately floundering to, stoke the fires of a culture war because they do not have anything to offer the taxpayer. I mean, Democrats have barely anything to offer the taxpayer, and they are still miles ahead. Democrats offer on their best days, I think, not making things that much worse, but Republicans are actively, suplexing the average American into a pit, and to distract them from the fact that they are currently in the air being suplexed, we're made to focus on this trans culture war stuff. Now, I have not been shy in my opinion that the attitudes of the GOP towards trans people are genocidal, and I feel like, I hate to say I told you so. First of all, because like pretty much all of you already agree with me. And second of all, because the subject is so grim. But this is, if you can believe it, from Andrew Bailey, the Missouri Attorney General, the brilliant mind from which the most recent anti-trans bill in Missouri came, the Transgender Center Concerns Form. Complete this form to submit a complaint or concern about gender transition intervention you have experienced or observed in Missouri. So, a big part of basically every genocide that has ever happened is getting people to report on their neighbors. In this case, the thing you are being encouraged to report on is concern about gender transition intervention you have experienced or observed. What does that mean? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It means by the letter of it could just mean I have observed a transgender person. That's it. It is literally just hey, neighbors, snoop on those around you and file report forms to the state if any transgendering happens around you. Stuff like this is, I'm not going to shy away from the comparisons. This happened directly with Jews and homosexuals. This is very straightforward. One of the first things that police states will do in their effort to genocide a population is deputize the average citizen. It's almost impossible for like random police officers to know whether everyone is trans or gay or a Jew. But when you start deputizing people's neighbors, families, friends, children, it gets really hard to hide anything. And that's the goal here. I mean, it is a way to encourage paranoia, to facilitate a broader like state of like to make trans people more of a pariah, and for once I'm not exaggerating, literally 1984. We can say that fairly here, can't we? It is literally 1984. This is not the first time the GOP has made an effort to construct a registry of transgender people. Texas did the same thing, Florida, I believe. We know how this is going. Now, as I've heard, and I would never advocate that you do this because it's highly irresponsible and dishonest, but as I've heard, a lot of miscreants and ne'er-do-wells have been just spamming the absolute living shit out of this form with complete nonsense. Now, I would never recommend that personally. I think that when the state constructs apparatuses to, genocide a population, we should just see what they're cooking. Really, we should see what's on the grill. I note, by the way, that the your contact information bit right here includes a state. Like it asks for your state and zip code, which suggests to me that there's maybe an effort to legitimize this as a kind of like not international, like an interstate. I just feel like there are going to be Republican boomers in like Louisiana who are going to be phoning their local official because they heard that somebody's friend may or may not be trans. Like you're going to have people in like Arkansas who are furiously filing reports to the Missouri State Attorney General. I want to be clear, by the way, I don't think much is going to come of this forum specifically, because I think right now the ratio of legitimate to illegitimate reports they've received is probably somewhere in the ballpark of 1 to 100, maybe even worse than that. It's really, really, really difficult these days when we still have a free and open internet to handle stuff like this via like just citizen reporting, because yeah, people are going to make a mess of that, as they should, because that's dishonest, obviously. Please provide a description of your transgender center concern. It's like they preempted this a little bit, because they do have a captcha down here, like in a futile effort to ward off insincere reports. But by submitting the form, you agree that you may be contacted by the AG's office about the facts stated in this complaint or concern. Please complete this form in as much detail as possible. I don't think much is going to come of this, but we're probably going to hear at least a few stories of people who get ratted out on by their neighbors because, like, they were doing like DIY HRT or something. Because again, remember, in Missouri right now, they have the strictest law on the books against trans healthcare in the nation. There will be people who are hurt because of this. I don't know how effective it's going to be as like a broader policy thing. I hope the suffering of those who are reported on and acted against in this form is paid back with the incredible optical damage that it will do in the future to hear those stories, for average ordinary Americans to hear that their state is creating report forms for their neighbor to report deviancy and degeneracy. Like, it's so much. Leaving aside the fact that it's literally Hitler, I mean, it's also literally the Soviet Union, We've heard so many times from the GOP about the extreme hyperbolic evil of Stalinist Soviet Union, which it was, to be fair. But one of the hallmarks of totalitarian governments like snitching systems is essentially stuff like this. This is just a modern version of that. It's really disgusting. I hope the people in Missouri, especially trans people, are doing okay. Especially the person who emailed me. Yeah, I would raise like the Missouri threat level to like a solid DEFCON 1. If you are trans and you are in Missouri, you should simply not be in Missouri. Will that be expensive? Yes. Will it be convenient to you? No. Will it be hard? Yes. All the same, I really, really think you should try to not be there. Good luck with that. And before some misinterpret that as saying simply move, I am. Oh, no, I am. Please move. I am saying that. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying like, I am saying, yes, simply move. I am saying that. That's true. That's my advice here. I'm not going to pretend that's easy or right or fair or anything, because it's not. Just, it'd be a solid play at this time. It'd be an effective move. Just move, but actually, though. Correct. This happened in Texas with abortion stuff identically. Yes. Thank you. Yes. This is a pretty direct comparison. This was about a year and a half ago when pro-lifers set up a tip line for Texans to report abortions that violate the impending heartbeat ban, people spamming it with fake claims. And you'll remember one of the big anti-choice Texan bills was allowing people to like sue people for participating in people getting abortions. This was before Roe v. Wade was revoked. So, like you could legally get an abortion, but the Texas government was like, okay, but like, what if we deputized the citizens in putting legal bounties on anyone who helps a person get their legal abortion? Like if you drove them to the clinic or you performed the abortion or something. It's all of this like involve the citizenry bullshit, Florida did the same thing with the Don't Say Gay bill. The Don't Say Gay bill, the main bad thing it does is it opens up like teachers to lawsuits from parents for like exposing their children, or now their 18-year-old high school seniors, because this has been extended to the 12th grade, to gender ideology, and you'll have to pay their court cases, their court fees as well. So it's like, yeah,